Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Dick Barr's Real Estate News You Can Use. I'm Dick Barr, managing broker with the Dick Barr Group at Village Realty in Lindenhurst, Illinois. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what every seller should know about home prices. So if you're trying to decide whether or not to sell your house, recent headlines about home prices may have been top of your mind. And if those stories have you wondering what that means for your home's value, here's what you really need to know. So what's really happening with home prices? It's possible you've seen news stories mentioning a drop in values for home depreciation, but it's important to remember that those headlines are designed to make a big impression in just a few words. But what the headlines aren't always great at is painting the full picture. While home prices are down slightly month over month in some markets, it's also true that home values are up nationally on a year-over-year basis. The graph on the screen uses the latest data from S&P Case-Shiller to help tell the story of what's actually happening in the housing market today. As the graph shows, it's true, home price growth has moderated in recent months, shown in green, as buyer demand has pulled back in response to higher mortgage rates. This is what the headlines are drawing attention to today. But what's important to notice is the bigger, longer-term picture. While home price growth is moderating month over month, the percent of appreciation year over year is still well above the home price change we saw during the more normal years in the pre-pandemic market. The bars for January 2019 through mid-2020 show home price appreciation around 3 to 4% a year was more typical. See the bars for January 2019 through mid-2020. But even the latest data for this year shows prices have still climbed by roughly 10% over last year. And what does this mean for your home's equity? While you may not be able to capitalize on the 20% appreciation we saw in early 2022, in most markets, your home's value, on average, is up 10% over last year, and a 10% gain is still dramatic compared to a more normal level of appreciation of about 3 to 4%. The big takeaway? Don't let the headlines get in the way of your plans to sell. Over the past 2 years alone, you've likely gained a substantial amount of equity in your home as home prices have climbed. Even though home price moderation will vary by market moving forward, you can still use the boost in your equity to help power your move. As Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, says, potential home sellers gained significant amounts of equity over the pandemic. So even as affordability-constrained buyer demand spurs price declines in some markets, potential sellers are unlikely to lose all that they have gained. So what's the bottom line? If you have questions about home prices or how much equity you have in your current home, let's connect so you can have an expert's opinion and advice. Thanks very much and have a great day.
At the Dick Barr Group, we understand your home is far more than building materials and land. It is where you live, where you work, and where you learn. One thing that will never change, however, is the joy of being welcomed back home and welcoming people to our home. Welcome home, America.